Good day, everyone. I am Mary Francine Ibida, taking up Bachelor of Secondary Education, major in English, third year level. So for today's report, I will be discussing about teachers as leaders in the community, with a focus on building partnerships to support student learning and foster community involvement. But before we begin, let me first present the objectives of our discussion. At the end of the lesson, students will be able to identify the key reasons school-community partnerships are necessary in supporting students' academic and social development. Recognize the impact of effective school-community partnerships on school culture and student outcomes, including both short-term and long-term effects. Analyze how community resources enhance learning experiences by examining specific ways to community support contributes to students' academic or social development. So these objectives will serve as our guide throughout the discussion. Now let us start with the first key point. Teacher as leader beyond the classroom. Teachers function as leaders not only in instruction but also in working with various school partners. Leadership involves influencing in relationships among school, family, community, and organizations. Teacher leadership promotes shared responsibility for student learning among stakeholders. So when we think of teachers, we often imagine them teaching lessons inside the classroom. But teachers are also leaders beyond those four walls. They don't just teach subjects, they help build relationships between the school, families, and the wider community. Teacher leadership involves influencing how these groups work together to support learners. So when teachers take on this leadership role, student learning becomes a shared responsibility, not just something carried by the teacher alone. So the second key point is the school partners and key stakeholders. So these are the parents, community members, government organizations, non-government organizations, and civic organizations. So schools do not operate in isolation. There are several key partners involved in supporting student learning. This includes parents, community members, government organizations, non-government organizations, and civic organizations. So each of these stakeholders plays a different role. Parents support learning at home, and communities provide real-life experiences, and the organizations offer resources and programs. So understanding who these partners are helps teachers know who they can collaborate with to better support students. Next one is why partnerships are necessary. So schools alone cannot meet all academic and social needs of students. Parents, community members, and organizations provide support, resources, and real-world context. So partnerships with different stakeholders make education more relevant and responsive. Partnerships are important because schools cannot meet all the academic and social needs of students on their own. Learners come from diverse backgrounds, and many factors outside school affect their learning. So communities and organizations provide support systems, real-world learning opportunities, and additional resources. So through partnerships, education becomes more relevant to students' lives and more responsive to their needs. Next one is school-community partnership. So a collaborative relationship among schools, families, communities, and organizations focused on student success involves mutual contribution, trust, and shared goals among stakeholders, strengthens educational outcomes while also supporting community development. So, a school-community partnership is a collaborative relationship among schools, families, communities, and organizations with a shared focus on student success. So this partnership is built on trust, mutual contribution, and common goals. So when schools and communities work together, the benefits go beyond academic performance. They also strengthen community development and social responsibility. Next one is role of teachers in building partnerships. Initiating communication with parents, community members, and organizations, coordinating learning activities with government, non-government, and civic groups, encouraging meaningful participation of all stakeholders in school programs. So, teachers play a key role in building and maintaining partnerships. They often initiate communication with parents and community members. Teachers also help coordinate activities with organizations that align with learning goals, such as outreach programs or community projects. So, by encouraging meaningful participation, teachers help transform stakeholders into active partners in the educational process. Next one is leadership and inclusivity. So, promote inclusive and equitable participation among parents, communities, and organizations. Respect for cultural, social, and institutional diversity strengthens partnerships. Inclusive leadership builds trust, belonging, and student engagement. So, effective teacher leadership is inclusive. This means ensuring that all stakeholders, regardless of their culture, background, or social status, are given opportunities to participate. Respecting diversity strengthens partnerships and builds trust. When students see inclusive practices in action, they feel a stronger sense of belonging, which leads to better engagement and learning. So next one is impact on school culture. Builds trust among teachers, parents, community members, and organizations. Encourages collaboration and shared accountability for student success. Strengthens positive school culture, leadership, and community support. So strong partnerships have a positive impact on school culture. Trust grows among teachers, parents, and community members. Collaboration becomes more common and responsibility for student success is shared. So this kind of environment strengthens leadership, improves relationships, and creates a more supportive and positive school atmosphere. So next one is long-term effects on students and community. Improved academic achievement and motivation through sustained support, development of civic responsibility and social awareness among students, stronger long-term relationships between schools and partner stakeholders. So, in the long run, effective partnerships lead to improved academic achievement and student motivation. Students also develop civic responsibility and social skills as they engage with the community. And at the same time, schools and communities build stronger relationships that continue to support learning even beyond the classroom. Next one is challenges in building partnerships. Limited time and resources among teachers and partner organizations. Communication barriers due to language, culture, or institutional differences. Varying expectations among parents, communities, and organizations. Teachers balancing classroom responsibilities with community engagement. So despite their benefits, partnerships also come with challenges. Teachers and partners may have limited time and resources. Communication barriers such as language differences or availability can also affect collaboration. And additionally, stakeholders may have different expectations. Teachers must balance their classroom responsibilities while engaging with the community, which requires effort and support. Next one is best practices for teacher leadership. Maintain consistent communication and follow up with all school partners. Actively involve families and organizations in planning and decision making. Recognize and value the contributions of parents and partner groups. Teachers model collaboration to inspire active stakeholder participation. So to address these challenges, teachers should practice consistent communication and follow up with partners, involving families and organizations in planning and decision making. Strengthens commitment. Recognizing and valuing contribution also helps sustain partnerships. Most importantly, teachers model collaboration through their actions, inspiring stakeholders to actively participate in supporting student learning. So to sum up, teachers play a vital role not only as classroom instructors but also as leaders who connect schools with families and communities. It's important to remember that leadership doesn't always come with a title. It often begins with building relationships and working together for the benefit of our learners and our communities. So that wraps up our discussion for today. Thank you for your time, and I hope you enjoyed our discussion.